Good morning, everybody. Good morning, all you stylists from the break room. I have got two people helping me out today. John, feedback loop. Hold on. Always technical difficulties. Yeah, I got Carmelina. I got Dom. We're going to have some fun. We're talking about healthy hair hacks, tips, tricks, and everything inside and out. Good morning, Carmelina.
Good morning, Edward.
And good morning, Dom.
Good morning.
So, what do you guys style your hair every day, twice a day, once a day?
Once.
Every day.
Dom's like, I style it once and I'm done. It never moves.
You have like a work of art. That's like a Picasso mixed with a car crash.
Right. And I myself do my hair every day as well. So there is that involved. I am a hairdresser. Carmelina, you are a stylist assistant. You work in a salon?
Yes.
And Dom, you help us out all the time with sales.
Yes, I do.
Not a stylist yourself, but
no,
you're rounded enough that you see a lot of the things we do at our classes and our education.
Yes, rounded enough where, we'll do the teaching in the classes and people pile up and asking me stuff. And I'm like, here, use this.
So we got a nice little mixture going on here of different levels of styling and doing. So that's cool. All right, so then let's get right into it. What is which one do you want to go first? You want to do rock, paper, scissors?
That would be funny. Let's do this. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, that's not working
over here at all. Jeez, man.
We think too much alike.
I can go first.
Yeah, you ladies first.
Oh, geez, no, thank you. So, a styling trick that I've learned from classes and shows that you've done, Eddie, is when you bring in Pasquale. He does beautiful, styling and updos. So what I learned from him was that you can get the hair and you can twirl it, you can use your two fingers and wrap the hair around, and then you pin it, and then once it's all done, you set it with the hairspray and you let it sit for a little bit, and then when you take out the pins, you get beautiful curls and waves.
So that's like that. You're talking about setting hair when you have straight hair, wavy hair, and you want to make more looser waves or tighter waves. You want curls. You want something quick. Well, I should say something quick. You want something that will last, especially if you're going to an event or you're going to a photo, you're doing a photo shoot or you're doing a video or something. We do that a lot for stage work where we'll take somebody's hair and all you got to do is just wrap it around your fingers, get all the length up in there, and then you just pin it to the head. Other ways of doing it, you can use rollers, you can use soda cans, you can wrap the hair around anything.
Wow.
Obviously, the smaller and the tighter you make the wrapping, the more tighter the curl is going to get. The larger you wrap the hair around something, the more looser and more wavier the curl is going to be. Using a hairspray is just a little trick that we do because it's quick, it's fast. It sets the hair, it dries the hair, and it helps hold the hair in place. It's not necessarily the healthiest thing to do.
But that was cool
to do, right? Healthier alternatives is going to be, you want to use a mousse or you want to use a styling aid like a gel. And then you want to take time. You can sit under a hood dryer, very low heat, or you could just walk around room temperature. And room temperature, you're going to be walking around for about an hour or two easily on the low end. We did a show once, we wrapped the model's hair and then put a hairnet over. and
Mhm.
home and sleep in a chair sitting up.
Oh my God.
And she slept overnight with all the rollers in her hair, with her hair set. And then she came back in the next morning and we took it all down and it was gorgeous. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very high glamour look. So you could do that as well too. Do you guys remember, like in the movies and in the videos, where there would be the mom, with all the rollers, and she'd
Hmm.
have the orange cans, like the concentrate orange juice can, and
Oh.
she'd have a cigarette and the rollers, and she'd be walking around with a bathrobe, "Hey, what do
Yeah.
you want?"
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's existed for a long, long, long time. Modern technology nowadays, you've got the air wraps, you've got the curling wands, you've got so many different tools and ways of doing it. So it's fun. Setting the hair is probably one of the easiest things anybody can do. You
Mhm.
could get bobby pins and literally you could do it to yourself. Roll your hair up to your scalp and then just shove a bobby pin in there to hold it in place. Hairspray and just do the whole head. Hairspray your hair everywhere. Walk around for an hour or two. Hang out, do the rest of your makeup or your clothing or whatever it is you do. Go grab some
Mhm.
breakfast and then let your hair down and then go. Now, when you let your hair down, if you just leave it like that, it's going to be very detailed. So if something is off, it's not going to look right. But if you let it all down and then you brush it out, it's going to give it a very nice, loose, glamorous wave. And then you kind of pick it apart and stuff. You have so many options. It's something quick, easy, and you got a lot of options. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one
I
to start
like
off
that
with.
one. Mhm.
All right. All right. That's one. Whoa, that's one. We keeping score over here. All right, Dom, you got
Oh boy.
competition now.
Oh,
Oh.
Right out
come
the gate, she's starting with
on.
you. Um, what's something that you do, Dom, that you think is pretty cool?
I sprinkle Ajax and then no,
Ah.
I don't do anything special. I just use the hair paste and then just put it in my damp hair and then I just use the gentle brush and I just do a simple side part. I don't do anything crazy. When I had my longer, back length hair, then that would just be a challenge because it was, a lot of times I would just have to just tie it up and go to work or something. But I didn't
Well,
do anything crazy.
you just mentioned something very interesting. So when you're using a pomade or a styling wax of some kind, those are usually dry and they're usually used for detail work. They're usually used for uh detail work and piecing, right? When they're not designed to be used on damp hair. So that's actually a really fun little trick that if you towel dry the hair and before it's completely dry, if you use a little bit of the pomade or the wax and you rub it through your hands, you work it through your fingers really good, and then you start working it through. You can either do it with your fingers and just leave it be, and that would give you a little bit more of a messy, tossed look. Or like you're
Mhm.
mentioning, you can go with a brush and you can brush through your hair and really put it in place. And then when it completely 100% dries, it gives you almost like a wet blow dry styled look
Right.
without having to sit there and spend that time to blow dry and style. So that's actually a pretty fun little trick that you're doing with that.
Mhm.
And yeah, once it's fully set, it'll be, slightly hardened and stuff. And then I just kind of pat and then I get the nice dry natural. Then yeah, after it's fully hardened, since yeah, it's designed for dry, but even with towel dry hair, my hair is still going to be a little damp and I use it. And then yeah, by the time I get to work and so
Yeah.
then I just run my hands through my hair and just get that little crunch out. And then yeah, it's just perfectly smooth and shiny and natural and boom.
No, and that works out. That works out very, very well. So yeah, that's actually a nice little trick. That's a fun little trick to start off with. So that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Okay, so then
Mhm.
running down the gambit, I've given each of you hydrating shampoos at some point, and then giving you, or excuse me, I've given you volumizing shampoo, especially you, Carmelina, because you love your little lion's mane.
Yep.
So I've given you volume shampoo and then
The
hydrating.
shower drain and sink drain don't like it though.
No, the drains absolutely do not like it. That is not fun trying to clean out the drains after.
Just get a hair trap.
Even then, it's a horse's tail pulling it out.
So volumizing shampoo, hydrating conditioner is a combination. So they're not too, a lot of people like using the same system of shampoo conditioner together, but mixing and matching sometimes works out. Shampoo is going to give you more volume because you generally scrub through your head. So that's causing a little bit of chelation, pre-softening, a little bit of movement. It blows up your cuticle. It blows up your hair shaft. And then moisturizing conditioner makes sure that we're not overdoing it. It's keeping everything calm, under control, right?
Yep.
So that's a nice little combination with the shampoo and conditioner that I like to do. What are some of the combinations that the both of you like to do?
Well, I usually, like you said, like to stick with like hydrate or moisture shampoo. And I stick with the same like moisture instead of like volume and moisture, I guess. I like those, and I also like, it's called Bamboo Miracle, and it keeps, for my curly hair, it keeps it, like under control and hydrated like I need it, because I like my curls bouncy and not flat looking.
So bamboo is a very interesting ingredient because it's strong with moisture. It is very, very strong with moisture. And especially with the amount of styling that you do every day, you do a lot of heat styling every single day. And a lot of people are nervous from heat styling because they believe that it dries the hair out, it makes it frizzy, it makes it fried, it makes this, it makes it that. So going in and replenishing moisture, heavy amount of moisture, preparing your hair for the heat beating that you're going to take, right? Like that's a nice little trick. That's a nice little fun little trick. So yeah, no, bamboo is a good one. Bamboo Miracle is a great intense conditioner. That's a Carrot Therapy product.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a really good one. That's a really, really good one. Dom, what were you telling me? You use some kind of extract, or you use some kind of tallow, or you use some kind of what was the shower thing you were talking about at one point? I forgot now.
Well, I've been with you've had me on the Xenogen for a while now.
Well, the Xenogen, I mean, look at the, okay, so before I go in and explain it, what are some of the differences you've realized? Like, do you even remember what it was like before the Xenogen?
Yeah.
So talk about that for a moment.
My hair would be dry. A lot of it was falling out. I was getting patches and all sorts of stuff of, just typical, male pattern baldness. So yeah, the Xenogen definitely helped it out when you massage it in, you leave it in for 5 minutes, rinse it out, use the conditioner. So that regulated my hair a lot. So it's a lot more evenly. There's not as many patches anymore. A lot of it regrew in.
Are you able to make it the whole 5 minutes in there?
Yeah.
So a lot of guys complain that they don't want to be in the shower for 5 minutes. So walk us through how do you make your routine work with that in mind, that it's going to be, it's got to sit on your head for that amount of time?
I usually, as soon as I get in the shower and turn the water on, I'll instantly wet my head and then, put like a dime size amount, and I instantly lather and scrub it in for about 30 seconds. And then I lower the shower head and I just let the rest, let the water on my body, and either, whether I need heat because I'm sore or I need cold to just jumpstart your metabolism.
Yeah.
or, hot, there's benefits for a hot shower and a super cold shower. And I usually, since I'm a spiritual person, a good thing that a lot of spiritualist people do is, since you start your day with like a shower meditation. So as you're showering, you could just mentally imagine of, the water is, any negative vibes I'm washing and rinsing away. You're just using the shower action and just mentally preparing yourself. Today is a good day. I use this shower to, wash away, illness and sickness physically, mentally, any bad vibes, any jealous vibes, any anger vibes, whatever, and just I'll usually meditate on that a little bit, and then I get my body wash and I'll scrub my body and lather up and then rinse the body. And the very last, maybe wash my face a little bit. And then, the very last thing I do, rinse the shampoo off, and then I quickly put the conditioner for 30 seconds. So usually by the time I do all that, it's probably about 5 minutes or so. I'll do a little meditative, shower cleanse your aura of anything negative. And then, I think they sell a timer. I think Xenogen does sell a 5-minute timer. If you don't want to partake in any of that, you could set the timer and it'll ding or whatever. I've never used the timer, but they do sell the timer, because I remember on a lot of the shows we'll put all the product out, and I have seen the timer. So they do sell a timer if you're a more practical person.
Makes sense. Yeah, and then a lot of people that went over very, very well too. A lot of people got that. A lot of people enjoyed it. So it makes a difference. Consistency is the key to everything. And if you keep sticking to the routine over and over and over, it works out. So now let's talk about brushing hair. Because especially you, Carmelina, with your curls, people ask you all the time, oh my God, your hair is so curly. How do you get the curls? How do you get the defined curls that you get? So what is it about brushing? Because a lot of people think they shouldn't touch the hair, and they think they shouldn't brush hair. So explain that a little bit.
Well, for curly hair, you only brush it once after you get out of the shower and it's towel dried, and you put in your leave-in, and you put in your mousse. And no, before you put in your mousse, you put in your leave-in, and you brush it out, and then you put in your mousse and scrunch it in there before you go diffuse it, and that's it. You don't brush it anymore. That's how I do it.
Well, a lot of people get confused. They're like, well, if I just took a shower and if I just put conditioner in my hair and I just rinsed it out, why do I need to put a leave-in in? If I just condition it, why am I doing another conditioner? When we talk about leave-in sprays, it's not always have to be a leave-in conditioner. So a lot of the leave-in sprays nowadays, some of them are protein-based, so they'll reinforce and strengthen your hair. Some of them are styling aids, so they'll start preparing your hair for slip. Some of them are just straight up detanglers. They all have a conditioning property to a certain degree, right? Some of them are more focused on UV protection. So you're custom tailoring what your day needs, what your outlook needs, what your styling options are for that day. You're kind of custom tailoring, and you're building out the base straight away.
Right. And I also put in a smoothing cream to help with the frizz and keep the curls like curly.
So that's a fun one too. You got a lot going on, because a smoothing cream, usually we use it when we're going to blow dry. Like if I'm going to take your curly hair and I'm going to make it straight.
Right.
I'm going to blow it out straight. I would use a smoothing cream to help me do that, because it's going to add some weight to your hair. It's going to help give some better direction, and it's going to hold it in place. So it's going to make my job easier to blow dry your hair. Right. When you're using a smoothing cream before using a foam mousse or some kind of volumizing product, people think that's counterproductive, but it's really not. You're still adding that same weight into the hair. So it's directing the curls, which in turn is going to give it more definition, more detail. And then you go in with your volumizing foam, your mousse, your root boost spray, whatever kind of product that you're using, that's going to give you lift. Okay. The more lift, the more you grow your hair, the more susceptible it is to some kind of frizz, some kind of flyaway, some kind of crazy. So using the two in tandem with each other, in combination with each other, that's actually a fun little tip. And it's a nice little trick that we do that people don't realize, that it works very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you layer in your leave-in spray first.
Right.
Then you layer in your smoothing cream.
And then you brush. So it's even distribution.
Yeah, you brush
And
all
then,
of that for even distribution.
and then after that, then you go in with the mousse. And you put it all in your hair.
And then you
no
just
more
walk out the door
combing.
and you're ready to go.
Well, yeah, and then I like to diffuse it because it doesn't give you like a hard crunch. It's like soft. And even if I didn't blow dry it, it wouldn't be like too hard anyways. I just like my hair being like more volume and fluffy versus just leaving it. I feel like it looks a little flatter even though it does have like, volume in it, the mousse.
The crunch that you're describing, so if you set your hair when it's all towel dried and you do those 3 products that you were just talking about, the leave-in, the smoothing cream, and then the mousse over it.
Yeah.
Or the root boost or the styling foam, whatever you're using. Yeah, and then you just let it go and you let it completely air dry from there. That's going to give you more of a wet look, more of that crunchy effect. And some people like that.
Yeah.
You necessarily yourself particularly don't like that. So that's why you're going in with the diffuser, and that softens you up and that gives you a little bit more fluff.
Right.
You want your hair to walk in through the door before you walk in through the door.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the wet look, but it's flat. The wet look, like I still get that wet look that I like, except it's not flat.
It's not flat. Yeah.
It's like you need to blow dry your hair. There's a lot of benefits than just letting it just sit there and dry by itself.
I got you. Dom, you mentioned earlier when your hair was longer, and then you had to tie it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how many bands you were putting through your hair?
I think like 8.
Oh, man.
So your ponytail, what was it, like the middle of your back almost at some point?
Something like that. Yeah, it was pretty long. I've never gotten to, I don't know what my terminal length would be, but that one was pretty long. I don't know if I was close to terminal length or not, but yeah, it got pretty long. It was probably about maybe just under mid-back, but it was pretty long for a while.
So one of the coolest things I thought, like when you would have all those bands going through your hair, and then you would take the bands out at the end of the day, and you'd shake your hair out.
Oh, yeah.
You had like this Aquaman style thing going on. It was freaking cool as hell.
A little Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah.
A little Qui-Gon, is that what you were going for, or was it
sometimes
just...
I would tie it up. Yeah, it would be like the samurai / Qui-Gon too. Sometimes.
So what were the bands that you were using? Were they any particular bands?
No, I think they were just your run-of-the-mill, just like non-slip cloth ones. I know I still hear of crazy people and like girls at work using rubber bands, and I'm like, how do you use rubber bands? That's gonna pull on your hair and snag your hair, and then when you take it off, you're clumps of hair. I'm like, I don't know how the hell. I'm like, you're barbaric using rubber bands. Like, use those like cloth sheen, satiny ones where they just slide off.
Yeah. Or you can use the gummies.
Well, yeah, something.
You can use gummies as well.
Anything but those, rubber bands. I always still to this day when somebody, I tie my hair with a rubber band. I'm like,
It's so funny because when we're in the industry, we know the differences, and like it's so funny that you just said that. Yeah, just run of the mill, just some basic satin cloth ones, or some gummy ones, like nothing, just basic stuff, right? To us, it's such a normal everyday thing.
It's a blasé.
It becomes blasé.
It becomes blasé.
Whereas you're sitting here going, well, yeah, I use a rubber band. That's what I use. Like, isn't a rubber band standard? Isn't that the normal standard thing? And it's like, yeah, you'd be surprised how many people are still using rubber
Oh, yeah.
bands. Even hair ties, they have some of those hair ties. They're the like the elastics they use for your braces, those kind of bands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And they're using that to tie their hair. And they're like, well, it's a little bit better than a rubber band. I'm like, yeah, it is a little bit better, but not by much.
right.
So it's interesting how that works. Using a satin, using a silk, using some kind of cloth, microfiber, material, any kind of material, scrunchy material. All of those matter because all of those is less friction. It's less slip. So when your hair is knotted up and when it's all brought together to a center energy point like that, there's a lot of tension and pressure happening on those points when it's all tied up.
Right.
The more you move your head, every time you move your head in any direction, some of those, wherever you've got that ponytail or wherever you got it tied off, it's going to pull and stretch in different directions and angles. So if you've got it too tight and then you turn your head, you don't realize how much your skin stretches, which is just then putting that much more tension onto your ponytail spot. And we see a lot of damage and a lot of breakage done.
And also, it gives an indentation too. Because it's stuck, you put it so tight.
Well, you could use the indentation as a styling. If you do it purposefully, that could be kind of fun.
Well, okay,
but if you
true.
to do it, then yeah, you're going to get a bad indent going through your hair. And then the only way to get out of that is to either re-wet your hair and restyle it, or to run a flat iron through it or a curling iron through it. Some kind of heat source, something. And then people freak out about heat sources. So that's a whole thing in itself. Yeah.
True.
So no, that's hair ties is huge. Hair ties matter. And then when you pull it up, anytime you're pulling up a high ponytail of any kind of way, you just got to be mindful about it because we call it natural fall. Your hair grows in a different direction or in a specific direction, and gravity usually is pulling it down.
Yeah.
So anytime you pull your hair up against the way that it's growing, that's going to put an extreme amount of pressure and tension onto that hair. That can cause a lot of snaps. That can cause a lot of breakage as well too. So you got to be mindful of that kind of stuff. So that's a good one. What do you do for wearing a hat or wearing a scarf or wearing a hoodie or something?
I really don't wear hats because I don't like the look when you put it on. Like this whole section is like flat and then you get the poof like out. And it's almost looking like a clown or something. So I personally don't like it. I do like scarves. So like, yeah, of course you like tie it around the neck and my hair. Well, sometimes it could cause friction a little bit, but I don't know how to help that. But it's usually not so bad for me.
Are you big on umbrellas?
When it rains, sure, I can put umbrella. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just standing out there.
Well, I do put on a hoodie, and then it's not as bad as like a beanie cap or a winter hat. So I do tuck all this hair in and just put a hood over, and it's okay because I could just go like this and fluff it out versus putting on a hat. It's still like that. Even though you fluff it out, you could still see the band and it annoys the heck out of me. So I'm like, no, not happening. Even if I'm freezing, I don't care.
Do you have a special routine with your hoodie or it doesn't matter? You just kind of tuck it all in?
I just kind of tuck all this back and just put the hood up. And that's it, really.
Okay.
Nothing special.
It's just fun to watch you because every time you see rain, you'll just stand at the door looking outside going, maybe we could wait 5 minutes. It'll stop.
I remember one time
think
we
it's
were done
worse.
at the restaurant and our car was parked like far because we were at Woodfield, so that parking lot's
Well, yeah.
massive. And it was like raining. We're like, I think we can make it. Oh my God, we were drenched from head to toe. And I'm like, it's cold. Turn up the heat. It was crazy.
Your curls got so wet. You got so dry. We
They're
all
like
got
all
dry.
dripping.
You were so mad that your hair was flat. I think the second we got back, you went straight to the blow dryer.
Yeah, well, I was cold. I needed to dry my hair. And like my head was cold, so it kind of felt good. Oh gosh.
I got you. Now, Dom, you're outside a lot. You're always got to wear some kind of hat or some kind of head protection or beanie or ear protection or something.
Yeah, I usually switch off. My most frequent methods is the ski mask that goes all over, and I just have the slit for my eyes. And then I also have that like beehive white hat that straps around your. I usually use those methods mostly.
Do you just give up at that point? There's no saving your hairstyle under those conditions?
Yeah, it probably gets messy.
My hairstyle will be. It'll just be flat.
Yeah.
So once I take it off for like an hour, it'll be flat until air and stuff gets back into the hair. But yeah, at that point, I'm at work or whatever. Just my hair will be flat. I don't care.
You don't care. I got you.
If I'm going out, like I have like a fedora or a Panama hat, that kind of preserves your hair a little bit. It'll be a little flat, but after 5-10 minutes of airing it out, once you take off the hat, it kind of naturally poofs back up again, more or less.
The mistake that a lot of people make is they figure, I work outside, or I'm going to be outside a lot, or I'm going to go for a bike ride or a motorcycle ride, or I'm going to go for a run or something, right? And then a lot of people think like, there's no point to do my hair. There's no point to do anything. It's just going to be messed up. I'm going to have a bad hair day. The reason why I bring this up right now is because a lot of products, in the beginning, it's called fiber memory.
Okay.
There was when a lot of the pomades and the paste, especially the styling pastes, they had a lot of those string, fibers in them. And we used to spider web it across the head. We'd sit there and we'd slap it across the head and it would just spider web around. And then we'd go in and we style it. And it gave a lot of versatility to hairstyling. And what a lot of people don't realize or don't understand is if you put product in your hair and you set it before you cover it up or flatten it or smash it or do whatever, helmet, cap, hat, hood, doesn't matter. But as long as you style your hair in a certain way and it sets in that way, if it gets messed up, you can recover up to 80% of that style, potentially 90% of that style, depending on how you wrap your hair first, right? Now, a lot of women are not going to sit there and put a silk wrap over their head before they put a hat on or a hoodie on. It's very time consuming. And in the moment, that's the last thing you're thinking about.
Well, you don't think.
That would save a lot of style. But like I said, it's not realistic. It's not in the moment very realistic. But if you set your hair and style your hair, even as a guy, it doesn't matter. Because then what you do is you run your fingers straight back, or if you have, they make small vent brushes now too. They have very small styling brushes that you could walk around with, and you can keep in your back pocket, keep in your purse, keep in your, in your saddlebag, if you're riding, whatever it is. You comb your hair straight back, wait a minute or two, run your fingers through, work it through, scrub it out, scrub it out, scrub it out, and then start combing your hair or just tossing your hair back into position again. The action of combing your hair straight back, like you said, Dom, air's got to get back in there. It's the cuticle got flattened out. The
Correct.
cuticle is gonna fluff back up and open back up, expand back up to its size again. It's not gonna remain flattened out for the whole day. You know, it's pliable. It's got flexibility to it. So by combing it straight back, you're using the curvature of your skull, the curvature of your head, and it's going against the natural fall, the natural growth pattern of the hair. And then you shake that out, you brush that out, and now you've just instantly created a little bit of volume, right? So when we're blow drying, especially for bangs, what do? We usually blow dry the bangs straight down. When we're trying to make quick volume, if your hair parts to the side, then if you blow dry it the opposite way and then pull it back again, you're going to get this nice lift. But if you're going for additional smoothness and your hair grows this way, if you just keep doing it that way over and over and over, that's going to keep it very flat and very smooth. So there's so many quick little things you can do. Okay. And this is something, especially fatigue is a big problem too. If you're not good at holding the brush and the blow dryer on top of your head and keeping your arms up for an extended period of time, it's kind of hard to do. You get tired really quick. So that's why I tell a lot of people, just slick your hair back, blow it out, blow it out, blow it out, and then start parting it over into putting it into whatever position you want it to do. And I don't care if it's a left part, right part, center part, doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. It's just using your head shape as a tool. Anything can be a tool. Your hands themselves, if you just kind of run your hands into your head and then pull your hair out through your fingers and start blow drying that, you'll automatically start creating volume that way alone as well. So there's so many different ways you can go about to do it. That's very fun. How are both of yous on hairsprays, dry shampoos? Not like, what do you do on a day off where you're not going to wash your hair that day?
I usually just tie my hair. Well, I use the Xenogen dry shampoo. I just spray it and then massage it in, and then I usually just tie my hair up in a bun if I'm not gonna wash it. But 10 out of 10, I always just get in the shower, wash, wet my hair and condition it anyways. So I'm going to end up just styling my hair like usual.
Even on the day off, you're like, I'm going to be lazy. I'm just going to condition it today. I'm not going to shampoo it. I'll just halfway blow dry style it, but I'm going to diffuse it anyways. The commitment to those curls.
Yeah.
Do you have lazy days, Dom?
Well, I wash my hair with the Xenogen. It's recommended like one day on, one day off. So yeah, the day I don't wash my hair, I still do a shower. I still wet my hair, and then I'll still towel dry it, and then I'll use the Xenogen paste. I have not tried a dry shampoo yet, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, I'll still use the hair paste while it's damp and still style it like normal. And then when it sets, I take the crunch out and then it looks the same.
Since you're on that routine and since you're on that regimen, using a dry shampoo on your off day may or may not help in particular for you because you don't really have an excessive oily scalp. Dry shampoo is going to be really good for people who wash their hair every second, third, fourth day. They go at like once a week, twice a week, they wash their hair, right?
Right.
So then in those situations, what's actually really good to do, what's really great to do with dry shampoo is the day that you wash your hair, when you get out, put your leave-in, okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then layer your dry shampoo over the leave-in first before you put other products on. Because what ends up happening is the dry shampoo will actually create a layer of protection from the scalp to the products so they don't build up onto the scalp. They just stick onto the hair themselves. This way, when you're brushing your hair out at the end of the day or the next morning or whenever, then you're getting a lot of those products removed off. So then you're not having to get the buildup and the buildup and the buildup. Something that happens to people that wash their hair only once or twice a week, they're like, oh, towards the end when it's time to wash their hair, they're like, oh man, there's It's so bad. My hair is so bad. And then they sit there and they get in the water, and the water's just bouncing off their head. It's not even penetrating into their hair shaft. You know?
That's a
And
shampoo,
then they're
like
having to
toothbrush.
do 2, 3, 4, 5 shampoos just to get it to start lathering. Forget about sucking. There's so much oils and builds up onto the hair. It's so rough. So dry shampoos used in that kind of way is a good way to go about to do it. What I would recommend to you, I got to get you the serum. So on the off days, if you put the scalp serum on, put a couple of drops and then you massage that in, that would actually be, a scalp serum is actually better for somebody like us who is on a steady routine, who wash our hair every other day. So the scalp serum is going to give you the nutrition. It's going to give you the rejuvenation. It'll help restore some of the pH balance to the scalp. And then the Xenogen one in particular is really good because that can cause some stimulation as well too. So that can promote new hair growth. So it's just a win-win-win all the way around. There's no negative to using it. And it's a serum, not an oil. There's a huge confusion and difference. Serums will absorb the excess that doesn't absorb from heat, or just the heat from your head naturally, or from a blow dryer. It'll evaporate the excess off. An oil, yes, styling oils, treatment oils are great. I'm not saying they're not. What I am saying is, if you use too much, the excess that doesn't absorb into your hair or into your skin is gonna sit. And that's what a lot of people get nervous about using oils, because it gets greasy, it gets heavy, it gets flat, it gets oily. You know, that's all the things that people complain about, you know, that's what they get nervous about.
Yeah.
So serums are different. Elixirs and serums work differently than oils do. So that's the breakdown of how that works. Any other styling tips, tricks, or hacks that you guys think about or do or know?
I think we kind of covered most of them.
You're not saving any or holding any back in your back pocket anywhere?
Yeah, right. I think that's all that I can think of for now. I guess we covered it all.
So I mean, that's what it comes down to. The routine is what matters. Consistency is key. Evaluating what type of hair you have for what kind of style you want. And don't just follow, like, trends are great and they're fun, but how does it work for your type of hair? You got to customize everything for your type of hair. So that's the best way to go about to do it, you know? So fun as always. That's awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks everybody for watching. Best way to support us, go to htbbeauty.com. Check us out. Go out there. Oh, do you want to say it, Carmelina?
Make a difference one client at a time.
Thanks all for watching. Have fun, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
The SFTB podcast was not recorded in front of a live studio audience, so thanks for joining us for today's episode. If our hair topics made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll read them while waiting for our caller to process. Share this video with your stylists and friends. It helps us make a difference, one strand at a time. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Because your hair deserves all the latest and greatest tips.